you have a famous friend, Lil Wayne. Like, did you think that was like legit when it first happened?
Again, I was like, okay, whatever, And when I got the message on Instagram, I didn't know who it was. I saw the check mark and I thought, oh, well, maybe this is somebody I should know
Hmm.
because they're verified,
Right.
or maybe it's somebody who really thinks highly of themselves. So it struck my curiosity, and he was so kind and sweet. So I was like, let me check out who is this person, and I pull it up, and then the first thing I saw was the face, and I was like. And then I saw like 18, 19 million followers, and I was like, oh my God, who is this? And I was like, that's Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Like I knew of him,
Hmm.
obviously, just because he's so famous, but I know nothing about his music. I couldn't even have told you a song he sang. I had no idea what his records were about or the name of any of his
Yeah.
albums.
Hmm.
I don't listen to hip hop. I'm just like your average, white girl that lives in North
Yeah.
Carolina. I'm kind of sheltered from a lot of life, right? So I responded and I thanked him for the kind words. And then I said, look, I know this really isn't Lil Wayne. This is probably his media manager, his social media manager. I figured it was like some 25-year-old, right?
Right.
And he was like, no, it's really me. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then he sent me his number. He's like, call me, I'll prove it. And the next day I called the number, I got voicemail, and I texted the number and said, see, I told you. I was like, quit playing.
Yeah.
And I called Barbie and I was like, yeah, Barbie, it's not really him. And then as I was talking to Barbie on the phone, I got a FaceTime request from that number. And sure, I said, oh my God, Barbie, they're calling me. And she goes, well, go see if it's him. I was like, okay. And he popped up.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, hi. And I'll be honest, like I was shocked just because I didn't really know what to say or how to carry a conversation. And I didn't fangirl. Like I'm not a fan, I guess
Mhm.
you could say. So I wasn't like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I've listened to your music since I was 5. I was just like, oh, you're a cool dude.
Yeah.
And so we FaceTimed for a few minutes. He had other things going on. So he was like, I'll get with you later. But he's like, I just wanted you to see that it was really me. And I was like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll stop calling you a liar now.
Yeah, you're like, thanks for that. So since then,
Mhm,
I know you've been like to a few of his concerts and stuff like that. You've been able to
mhm.
hang out in person. So that's really awesome, that you were able to do that